Randy, you know, earlier on I was talking about some interesting developments at Ghanaweb, and it's telling, you know, we've been talking. My brother and colleague George Egyapa Mercer has been going on and on and on about state capture. You know, the MPP is so desperate to win power. They don't believe that Dr. Bawumia and Dr. Napo, on their own strengths, can win them power. They don't believe it. They don't believe that the two of them, Napo and Bawumia together, they don't have what it takes to win the MPP the election. So they need to capture every aspect of the state. You can see state capture happening in almost all our state institutions. Now, even the media, you are at risk.
Why?
Randy, Ghanaweb is part of a conglomerate called African Web Technologies. Now they have my Cameroon Web, my Tanzania Web, Ghana Web, all those webs. It's run by a Dutch man, Rob Bellart. And he's run this thing for over 25 years. Now he has a partner called Mark. They had a dispute and they went to court and he was supposed to pay some compensation to Mark. So he decided he wanted to get some investors to hold shareholding in the company so that he could use that injection of cash to offset whatever damages he had to pay his partner. So he asked people around, kicked him out of the company through one of our colleagues in parliament.
You mean they have bought it? Somebody, you mean that somebody whose NPP has bought his shares? Is that what you mean?
In fact, and you see, I'll let you understand, it appears to be that he was looking to sell part of his shares in the Africa Web Development, Africa Web Technologies. Now, the people here who were negotiating for him decide to go behind him, and instead of it being Africa Web Technologies, go and transfer shares of Ghanaweb, because Africa Web Technologies has no value for them. You see, why am I saying this? Ghanaweb is seen to be a very neutral platform for news in Ghana that carries both NDC and MPP opinions. Now, what they've done, and I have this letter. This is a letter dated 25th of June. Okay. The same day there was supposed to be the Zoom between Dr. Bawumia and
what is
President
the
Akufo-Addo.
point you want to make with the letter?
Our colleague in Parliament paid 1 million euros.
No, please.
To buy
Sam George.
Randy,
Sam George.
let me finish.
Yes.
You've not heard what I'm saying.
Yes.
I said our colleague in Parliament,
Yes.
on the MPP side,
Yes.
paid 1 million euros
Yes.
to take over Ghanaweb.
Yes.
Has installed his wife as now the managing director, the CEO,
Yes.
and his wife's brother,
Yes.
by name David Entry,
Yes.
as now the managing director.
What is wrong with that?
It's important that Ghanaians now know
Yes.
that Ghanaweb is no longer that objective mouthpiece, and I'll tell you why. Since this acquisition, and even Rob in his letter, and I'll read his letter. That's the CEO. So don't Sam George is a politician. I'll read Rob's letter to you, portions of his letter.
No, I want to understand the point you're making.
The point I'm making is that right now Ghanaweb has become like Daily Searchlight. It's an extension of the MPP propaganda wing. And look, don't take my word for it. This is Rob's letter, and I think I've sent it to Annie. Dear former ADPU staff, on 19th of June.
Annie, don't show the letter.
On 19th of June, I requested Matilda Nate in my capacity as the legal owner of ADPU to hand over assets of ADPU to a newly appointed director of ADPU.
Who is this letter addressed to?
All staff. It's a general letter to all the staff.
Staff
of the Africa ADPU, which is the parent company of Ghanaweb.
ADPU.
Yes.
What's that? What's ADPU? Okay.
Now let me just read. Under my stewardship, ADPU supported the principles of Ghanaweb.com being a neutral and objective medium. I am afraid Ghanaweb.com will now digress into a mouthpiece of the MPP, obviously with the intention to let the NPP win the 2024 election. This approach cannot work because Ghanaweb.com will lose the patronage of the NDC voters, but yet it is being implemented by Mr. Entry and the disloyal former management team of ADPU. You can confirm that this is the letter I'm reading. It's not my words.
Oh, I can confirm that you are holding a piece of paper with a signature on it.
Okay. But the words I read are from it.
I don't have a problem.
The words I read are from it.
The man is not blunt from cross-examination court because he has not been caught in a while.
I'm surprised at this man.
I've shown you the letter. Randy.
A piece of paper with writing on it.
Important Ghanaians now.
No letterhead. Nothing.
That is important Ghanaians know.
Maybe it's a memo.
Oh, this is a memo.
Yes, it's
is it to the staff of ADPU?
It's an internal memo.
Bracket former ADPU staff.
It's an internal memo.
What does it even mean?
Okay, when you don't understand, I'll explain to you. So,
My comprehension
so
is
what
bad.
you are saying is
It's unbelievable.
Because I can, you know what I'll tell you?
Yes.
The Ghanaweb carried out an interview with Fifi Fiavikwete.
Okay.
Where he did a damning expose on government. Ghanaweb's new CEO, MD David Entry, has directed that should not be played until they get a response from the MPP. That's not how Ghanaweb used to operate. So I'm just saying that people should now go back since middle of June and go and look at the headlines on Ghanaweb. You will realize that Ghanaweb is no longer the Ghanaweb it used to be. It is now a mouthpiece of the NPP. And I'm stating this for the record because we will get to that place where people will begin to cite Ghanaweb. It's no longer the old Ghanaweb. Management has changed. If you want me to name the MP who's bought it, I can name him.
No.
Unless
I see.
I have named his brother-in-law.
I'm
So anybody
that,
who knows him.
I'm saying that
he's a medical doctor.
until I see the.
He's a medical doctor.
Unless I see.
Very thick and tall medical doctor on the
It's
side.
okay.
Randy,
It's okay.
you see, this propaganda, you'll be exposed.
Expose that what?
Wait.
He's not bought it.
But if assuming without admitting, because I don't know.
So you don't know
That somebody is bought
You used to be the vice chairman of the committee on communications before he left.
What's your big? What
What
is your big deal really? And what is the big deal about it really?
You are capturing state media or public
really?
media. Yes.
TV3.
But this is a private.
Oh, Randy.
Web is a private.
Yes, but now they are capturing it.
You
No, but what's wrong with that?
And you
assets.
should let people know
That's what.
that it is no longer the objective mouthpiece.
But
It is- I'm
Ghanaweb
not
has
even saying
always
it.
been private.
Yes, but they have always run a neutral policy. And I'm telling you that the interview with Fifi Kwete that was conducted on the 18th of June, why have they not published it up till now? They are waiting for a response
Randy.
from the Baumia campaign.
Randy, what are the antecedents of TV3?
What is it? Who
You're
owns
asking
TV3?
me.
I'm
You're
asking you, yes.
Is it
Who
not a
owns TV3?
mouthpiece of your party?
Oh, right now TV3 is the
That's
mouthpiece
exactly
of
what
our
they
party.
do. Go and check their Saturday programs and everyday programs.
The ones you go on.
Muntie TV or Muntie Radio or somewhere why they call
Everybody
it.
knows
Radio
it.
XYZ.
But that's
So
the
if
ownership has not been
Ghanaweb,
marked.
somebody has bought it, and according to you,
you
it's
should
now
have
going to
added
be.
Moon to me TV.
Oh, I'm coming. I
Moon
don't
to
have
me
a
radio.
problem. Assassin
As I
Radio
say,
and all
yes.
that. So if Ghanaweb, somebody.
So
has
now
bought
let
it.
us put Ghanaweb in that category.
I don't have a problem at all.
Let's not paint a picture of them being neutral. That's the point I'm making. People keep going to Ghanaweb as a neutral source. Now they no longer are. That's my own word.
Says who?
Rob Bellat, the former owner of Ghanaweb.
Says who? That people go to Ghanaweb because of its neutrality. Ghanaweb publishes stories from all sorts of places.
And now there's an editorial policy not to allow that happen.
So
That's
if the
what I'm telling
owner
you.
takes a decision, what really is your problem? What it really is your problem is what?
As a member, as a ranking member, deputy
It's
ranking
unbelievable.
on the parliamentary committee,
You
I
come
need
and
to let
sit
the
here
Ghanaian people
and
know.
speak to this matter since somebody has committed some crime.
No, I have not said there's a crime.
The
I'm just
ownership
saying
of
that
Ghanaweb
you
has
are-
changed. I don't know.
I'm
And
telling
I'm
you.
not confirming it because I don't know with this piece of paper.
It goes beyond a piece of paper. You can call it a
But
piece of paper.
that's
It's an
what
internal
you
memo.
brought out here to prove that Ghanaweb's ownership has
And
changed.
I'm telling you, no.
Piece of paper.
That's not it.
It's fine.
I'm giving you
You can with whatever.
see.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you, and I'm saying to you, if you don't know, you can choose to sit here and, play Sergio Ramos. That's fine. But the bottom line is, you cannot dispute the fact because you don't know. And I'm saying on authority that it's been bought, and I've mentioned the new CEO and the new MD, and I'm saying to you that right now the editorial policy has changed. that Ghanaweb will no longer run stories that are critical of the NPP without an official response. That is not how Ghanaweb used to operate. Like you said, you don't know. Ghanaweb used to operate a blogging system where bloggers were allowed to run their independent stories, who work for Ghanaweb, run their independent stories and post them online, whether they were critical of government or not. And that has always been it. Ghanaweb has had stories that are critical of the NDC, critical of the NPP. And I'm saying to you that now, since this acquisition, I said on the 18th of June, Ghanaweb ran an interview with Fifi Fiabikwete, the General Secretary of the NDC. That story has been put on ice until they get, on the instructions of David Entry, until they get the express response. Randy, which media house, which neutral media house runs an interview of a political party, finishes the piece, and says that I'm going to play it to the opposition for them to respond to it before I air? Is that how you run?
That could be done if in the view of the, first of all, it's not live. Even if it's live, the issue of a rejoinder and all those things come up. If it's not live, the editor reserves the right, on the basis of the content of that interview, to say that, look, there are some legal ramifications or there are some ethical considerations. I think that I can only run the story side by side the other view. That would be would you go and play? No, Randy, you are senior. Would you go and play the other person's tape to the respondent to respond? No, I have this story. I want your
fantastic.
I want your hold on. I have this story. I need your response to the story before
the issues.
Yes,
you don't go and play the recording of the General Secretary of the NPP to the NDC to the MPP and say these are the issues he's raised. Respond. If you are doing, I'm not a trained journalist, except you are telling me that that's what journalists do.
There's nothing wrong.
No,
there
Randy,
will be nothing wrong with that.
Randy, there's everything wrong.
Why?
If you came to me,
yes, and
I granted you an interview,
yes,
and the discussion with me was you want an interview on the elections,
yes,
and I tell you what my position, the position of my political party is,
yes,
then you take my recording,
yes,
without my permission. And
why do I need your permission?
Because I gave it to you to air. I didn't give it to you,
but you see,
to go and show to my opposition.
What you forget, Sam, what you forget is that when I air that interview,
yes,
I am also responsible, although you are the person who spoke, for airing that interview on my network.
Yes.
I am also responsible for the things that you have said.
Yes.
That is how come when there's a lawsuit, you are not the only person who will be sued because you said, So on the basis of that, the media house reserves the right to say that, look, analyzing what has been said, I think that I need to get a response of the other side before I go.
It seems you're not getting the point. To get a response, and there are several times I have gotten a call that says, so and so has made this comment. We want you to respond to it. Okay? They don't bring me a recording of their conversation with that person that is yet to air.
Maybe you don't ask for. Others will say that if you say that this person has said this and that about me, please furnish me with that so that I can react appropriately. There are people who do that.
No, Randy.
And it will be within their rights.
That's not how, that's not how Ghanaweb has operated.
Okay, that's another.
That's not how they've operated. And for me, I think that I owe it to the Ghanaian people as part of our oversight responsibility over the media and the ministry and its agencies to ensure that when there are such shifts in ownership that affect editorial policy, people ought to know. And you see, Randy, let me be clear here. Let me be very clear.
I mean, for me, if it is true, hold on. Okay. For me, if it is true that a politician,
yes,
has bought Ghanaweb,
yes,
and the ownership of Ghanaweb is now with a politician,
yes,
for me that is news enough.
Yes, and that's the point I'm making.
For me, that is news enough.
Yes,
it's news. It will be news anywhere in the world. If that happens, if there's that transition, and you have a situation where it's like saying that tomorrow, Egyapa Mercer has become the owner of Metro TV. It's news.
Yes.
Yes, it's news.
And
so for me,
and that's the point I'm making. And
beyond that, what?
Wait. No. You see, that's the point I was going to make.
So you are urging your supporters not to go on Ghanaweb anymore, or what? Or the Ghanaian people shouldn't go on Ghanaweb again, or what?
I think he's succeeded in doing what he wants to do.
I make the point very simply
Yes.
that I am not against media houses having a political inclination. I'm not against it.
Okay.
Radio.
Does that mean that you don't have a problem with politicians owning media houses?
We are there.
What you have said is different from the issue of ownership.
Yes. You see, it's a different thing, a politician owning the media house, and it's a different thing, the house saying that we are center left, center right. I mean, it is known where Fox stands and where CNN stands. I don't have a problem.
But where Fox stands is because the owner of Fox stands to the right.
Can I finish?
It's because the owner of
Randy,
CNN stands with the left.
But they are not politicians.
So the ownership,
they are not politicians.
So the ownership is important.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
I don't have any difficulty at all.
Okay.
But
you see, anybody.
So I guess the point Sam George wants us to know is that for all of us who thought that Ghanaweb was owned by a foreigner who had no interest in Ghana's politics, it has changed.
It's changed.
I think that's the point.
It's changed.
They're all the run.
It has changed. And that now Ghanaweb has an interest in Ghana's politics and the outcome of the politics. Okay. The same way when anybody listens to Radio Gold, they listen to it with a certain subconscious bias. The same way when you listen to Oman FM or Asase, you listen to it with a certain bias. It is the same way I'm saying that when we listen to certain media houses, when they listen to Metro, everybody runs it without a bias. Well, there are NPP people who say that you are NDC. There are NDC people who say, good evening, Ghana. What's his name? The Christmas tree guy at Airport Company. What's his name, Kara?
You know his name, so
No.
stop that. You know his name, stop that.
Paul. There are people who say Paul is MPP. So everybody says Metro has balanced it out. In the morning, NDC, in the evening, MPP. It is fine. But when we try to mask it under a certain cloud of neutrality, we owe it to the Ghanaian people to let them know that there is no neutrality at Ghanaweb. And that's the point I tried to make.
All right, okay.
So I just went on Ghanaweb.
Yes.
The story that I pulled up, it says source, bbc.com.
Yes.
So if it's from Asasi Radio, it will cite the source. If it's from Metro TV,
yes,
it will cite the source.
Yes.
So what really is your
Ghanaweb also runs its own stories. That's what you don't know.
Has that function changed?
No, Ghanaweb runs its own stories.
I've been interviewed by some.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
They have a reporter in Parliament and all.
Let's move on.